Yo, what is up guys? Jay Filler here and welcome back to another video. So you alright guys, for this video I'll be telling you about my Canon M50, my likes and dislikes about it, and why this is the best budget camera to start YouTube for this year. So let's talk about the things that I like about this camera. And by the way guys, I'm not a professional photographer nor a professional videographer. I'm just telling you this, what am I currently feeling about this camera for a daily use, for daily usage. So let's move on. The first thing I like about this camera is the autofocus. The autofocus of this is really good guys. I mean, it can really pick up your face wherever you go on the screen, on the composition. I mean, when I hide like this, I don't know if you can hear me. Wait, just a second. See, it's really fast guys. I mean, this Canon M50 has the dual pixel autofocus, which was on the Canon 80D, 70D, and the previous Canon lineups. I don't know, but yeah, that's the thing I like about this camera. And the next thing I like about this camera is the tilting screen. I was a previous owner of Sony a6000. They also have a tilting screen. It's not really that good because it just goes a little and then goes down a bit, but for this Canon M50, it tilts to the front, and it's good for shooting in front of the camera because you can just reach on the screen when you're sitting here, change the menu on what you like. And yeah, I know it's not really that surprising for Canon users, but for me, I was a previous owner of Sony a6000, so it's really new to me, and it really helps me a lot when making video like this. And the next thing I like about this is the 4K. I know a lot of you guys will say, why 4K? And the 4K of this camera looks bad. It crops more of the camera. I like the 4K of this one. For now, I have the 50mm 1.8. And by the way, I put a Speedbooster on this. So it really kind of makes the camera full frame. So if I put a 50mm on this with a Speedbooster and shoot on 4K, I can shoot like 80mm or something. No, 120mm I think. Because your 50mm times the crop factor of the 4K of this, which is 2.56 times.
Wait. Sorry guys if you were confused with my explanation. I will leave a note in the description below so that you can read and understand it well.
It works well. I mean, if you use manual focus speaking. This camera, by the way, this camera is the manual focus speaking, and it's really nice guys. If you're using it with 4K, don't use the autofocus when you're using 4K for this camera because not good. So the next thing is my dislikes about this camera. And my first is the 4K. So like what I've said, it crops your composition or your image. I mean, it doubles the crop factor, and it's really bad because it doesn't have the dual pixel autofocus, and it's really a deal breaker if you're into it. If you don't use manual focus, it's really a deal breaker. And for me, it's not really a deal breaker because I can use manual focus when shooting videos, and most of the people right now is using autofocus, so it's really a deal breaker for them. The next thing I don't like about this camera is it doesn't have 1080p 120 fps. This camera only shoots 1080p 60 fps. I mean guys, come on. It's 2019 and this camera was released 2018 February, I think. Yeah, it's 2018 and this camera doesn't have any 1080p 120 fps. Oh god, man. Yeah, it has 120 fps but with 720p. So 720p, not good. Not a good quality. I don't want to use that. So yeah, that's the thing I don't like because it doesn't have a 1080p 120 fps. I mean, I want to shoot that very slow motion thing with 1080p, at least at 1080. So the next thing I don't like about this camera is the grip. I mean, I have a quite big hand, so this camera is really small guys. That's what mirrorless cameras are for. It's compact, it's small, So what I've done is I purchased a small rig cage for the Canon M50. I mean, it really improves the grip. Yeah. By the way, guys, I will put all the links in the description for you to check out. Putting a small rig cage for this camera helps a lot when gripping. I mean, it feels like a DSLR camera when you're shooting, because without a small rig cage, it's just a point and shoot camera. It's really small. Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about this camera. And for the question why this is the best budget camera to start YouTube, I mean, guys, there are a lot of cameras right now to use for making YouTube videos, like the G7X Mark II, you know, the A5100, and there are things like that. But guys, those cameras don't have any microphone jack. I mean, you need to record the audio externally and sync that and post when you edit, so it's not really that good. But for this camera, the Canon M50, I mean, it comes around 500 here in UK and 600 in the US, I think. That the features you will get for this one is really good, guys. It's good for the money that you invest on this camera. I mean, it has tilting screen, it has 4K, so it has 4K and it doubles your focal length of the camera, like 50mm, and you shoot in 4K, it becomes 120 plus mm, I think. So it's really good. It has manual focus peaking and things like that, so in 4K it's really clear, very clear. And yeah, it has some microphone jack. It's really good for vlogging as well, as long as you have a lens with image stabilization. And that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video. God bless. Bye.